This is European Railway, the video magazine for the continental enthusiast. In this issue, we travel to Austria and sample traffic over the picturesque St.Anton Pass main line in the far west of the country. We begin a two-part feature looking at the principal rail routes in and around the major city of Basel. Diesel activity in the Czech Republic. Southern France is popular with tourists, but what about the local railway scene? An afternoon visit is paid to Miramar, close to Marseille. The German Class 219 diesels have all but finished. We visit Gera to have a final look at these XDR locomotives. Finally, Swiss railway action is featured in our profile of traffic around the industrial town of Solothurn. With the 2,700 metre high Arlberg mountain range in the background, we begin our journey on the eastern slopes as a pair of Class 1044 electrics arrive at the important regional town of Landeck. Landeck is also the limit of the local city shuttle services operating out of Innsbruck. 1142-626 is seen on empty coaching stock. The station is also used to stable locomotives for pilot and banking duties over the pass. 1110-522 prepares for its next turn of duty. Views from the platform at Pines, just a few kilometres to the west of Landeck, are superb. This is 1044-106 on the 0837 Bregenz to Graz. Two kilometres further along is the bridge at Tubadil, which takes the line over the Trisana River Valley. Class 1110s sometimes only assist freights as far as St.Anton before returning back down to Landeck. This maintenance unit takes advantage of a lull between trains, shunting wagons in the station area. Another Class 1044 leaves the 14-kilometre St.Anton tunnel and enters the low cloud that is swirling around Langham and Arlberg station. Passenger trains are roughly every 2 hours in each direction, with freight services around 1 per hour. The line gets particularly busy for freight and passenger in the early evening, with almost constant activity. For many years, Class 1110, numbered in the 500 series, which were rebuilt in 1975 with thyristor control and rheostatic brakes, have been used to bank freights on the line. These are now scheduled to be withdrawn, with many of their diagrams discontinued from December 2002. A few still exist on the route, but it is likely that 2003 will be their final year in traffic. Just to the east of Bludenz, at Bings, 11-16-053 heads train EC163 from Basel and Zurich to Wien on 19th June 2002, with a fair assortment of coaching stock including an observation car. This is 1110-519 at Lenzing. Finally, with the Arlberg Mountains in the background once again, 1042-039 is seen near Frommangarsch, heading west towards Feldkirch. There are few European cities that see as big a variety and quantity of trains as Basel. Situated on the River Rhine, it is bounded by France, Switzerland and Germany, and is a hugely important railway artery. We begin at Eimeldigen, which lies just 9 kilometres north of the city on one of the principal German main lines which runs parallel to the mighty Rhine. 140-640 approaches with the southbound freight. As well as freight, there are a good number of passenger trains, both intercity, as seen here, and local stopping services. In our weekday morning stopover, traffic was near continuous. With freight trains running at 6-minute headways, there is always plenty of variety. Here, a Class 155 heads north. Most of the German freight runs to and from the exchange yards adjacent to Basel's Wiel station or onwards to the Swiss yard at Basel Mountains. Just 6 kilometres to the west lies the French main line through Saint-Louis. The line is home to the 13-strong Class 20200 electric locomotives, whose only role is to ferry freight trains between Mulhouse or Saint-Louis yards to Basel Mountains. This is one of 6 SBB Class 562 electric units rebuilt to work local trains between Basel and Mulhouse. There are also frequent expresses to Strasbourg hauled by BB26000 electrics. The station here at Saint-Louis was once the frontier station, hence its size, but customs formalities have not been carried out for many years. Freight trains run roughly 2 per hour in each direction. The 2200s are barely coping with current traffic levels and are expected to be withdrawn in the near future as newer dual voltage Class 37000s are introduced. As mentioned previously, much of the German traffic calls at Wiel yard. It is possible to see the hump in operation from the adjacent station. Class 111 and 143 electrics are used on many of the local stopping services. Here, 111048 heads double-deck stop north out of the station. We leave this section as 151151 heads a northbound intermodal. In our next feature of Basel, we will sample some more traffic here at Wiel before moving on to the impressively busy Pratteln station, where 30 locomotives per hour is normal. The line between Lichkov and Letohrad in the northeast of the country is a busy rural route which includes a connection into Poland. Freight trains are often staged in the yard at Lichkov, such as in this view of a pair of Class 749 diesels. Another 749 is seen here at Letohrad. Freight trains are regular, and are nearly always in the hands of pairs of Class 749. Unfortunately, many have had their exhaust fitted with silencers. This is Eimeldigen. This unsilenced 749 departs Jesenik, close to the Polish border. You can hear the difference. Class 753 heads the 1320 Jeseník to Praha out of Letohrad. The shuttle service between Letohrad and Ústí nad Orlicí is worked by a Class 110 centre cab electric. This is Letohrad shed, and a Class 781 awaits its next turn of duty. To get this shot, the local driver is obliged by moving away 2 locos from the front and drove the 781 out of the shed especially. You can't ask for better than that. This is the same loco at Lichkov. Unfortunately, the Class 781s are now history, with the last examples being withdrawn from Cheb depot in late 2002. Happily though, all the other types of locomotives featured in this section continue to dominate services in this picturesque and fascinating part of the Czech Republic. There is an awful lot of freight that runs down the Rhone Valley towards the southern French city of Marseille. Much of this traffic is concentrated around the railway town of Miramar, to the northeast of the city. The weather was again kind for the camera crew when we visited in June 2002. The yard at Miramar acts as a staging point for the vast amount of freight which is generated around the ports and the industrial areas in the Gulf de Fosse. Here, Marseille-based 7272 begins its journey east. The local depot is also the home of a small railway museum, which has, amongst other attractions, a number of historic electric locomotives such as this CC7100. A pair of BB26000 diesels are seen awaiting entry to the depot. Locomotives also come off the depot, such as this impressive lineup of traction heading east towards the ports of Fosse. The locos will work back on a mixture of freights later in the day. The area is also one of the last strongholds of the endangered BB8100 electrics. Local services on the coastal line via Fos-sur-Mer are diesel operated using BB26000 locomotives. This is locally based number 457. The freight version of the same class is 67,000, which work throughout the area. Here 10 and 24 are seen after working a train of empty bauxite hoppers from Gardanne.
Le TGV 6191 en provenance de Paris-Lyon va entrer en gare voie B. Éloignez-vous de la bordure du quai s'il vous plaît. Ce train va entrer en gare voie B.
Freight services total around 10 per hour. This is 6566 heading east. BB7200s are common in the area, working both passenger and freight services. This one is working a stopping service from Nimes to Marseille. BB8224 is seen on a local trip freight to the nearby marshalling yard. There are still a number of these locos in traffic, particularly around the Lyon area. Located around the now redundant turntable are these stored Class CC 65500 diesels, which had previously found work on the LGV Méditerranée construction project. Some date from 1955. During the summer months, there are numerous holiday trains, including this motorrail service from Hamburg to Saint Raphael. Miramar is certainly the railway hotspot in this part of France. By the time this issue of European Railway is released, it is expected that the last of the XDR Class 219 diesels will be withdrawn. Built in Romania from 1985 in a trade deal with the former East Germany, the locos have never been regarded as a great success. Their final duties have included working local trains in the Gera area, and it is a fitting tribute that we were able to witness the class at work when we visited there in 2001. This is 219056 arriving from Saalfeld. The station is dominated by the superb overall roof. The light axle loadings meant that the locos were used extensively on local branch line duties, but they have now been replaced by new builds of diesel multiple units. Here 219029 arrives with the 1628 from Leipzig.
Bitte beachten Sie, zwischen Königs und Saalfeld besteht schienennächste Reisemöglichkeit. Die Regionalbahn nach Karlsruhe-Wünschendorf, die Abfahrt 18:03 von Saalfeld besteht Schienenersatzverkehr. Zwischen Königs und Saalfeld besteht Schienenersatzverkehr.
Arriving from Erfurt, 219087 passes long lines of withdrawn coaching stock which have also fallen victim to the relentless introduction of new DMUs. Once totalling 200, the 219s have recently proved popular with enthusiasts keen to travel behind the class in their final years. We leave the 219s as yet another class of locomotive passes into the history books. The only prospect for their continued use is if some are purchased by private operators. Let's hope so. Solothurn is an ideal location for anyone wanting to sample the railways of Switzerland. We take a look at what's on offer at the town's main station. Situated on the main line from Basel and Zurich to Lausanne and Geneva, there are up to 3 mainline expresses per hour either calling or passing through the station. Here RE44 number 11207 departs with the 0811 Biel to Zurich on 20th June 2002. New Class 500 units are also seen working Geneva to Zurich trains. The area is the focal point for a number of private railways. Here, a new light rail style electric unit operated by Regionalwerke Bern Solothurn arrives at the dedicated platforms on the south side of the station. Regionalwerke Mittelland operate many services, including local haulage trains such as this. The line is also a hot spot for Class AE 66 electrics, which work most of the freight trains seen through the station. This is the main station building. A Class 566 unit number 221, built in 1973, arrives on a service to Moutier. Swiss Federal Railways also operate local services using these Class 560 units, usually one per hour in each direction on the line to Olten. Regiowerke Mittelland also operate freight services and carry upwards of 3.5 million tonnes annually, mainly centred on Solothurn. 436112 heads this paper shuttle service to the container terminal at Aarau. Still in 1970s orange and white Swiss Express livery, RE44 number 11103 passes with the southbound interregional working.
Wagen erster Klasse, Sektoren A und C, Speisewagen, Sektoren B und C, zweite Klasse, Sektoren A, B und D.
Finally, sporting a red livery, AE66 number 11520 departs for Lausanne with a long mixed freight. We hope that you've enjoyed this edition of European Railway. Look out for issue number 9 as we bring you the latest trains and traction from around the continent.